Okay, so if you are on a love magic journey and you're doing rituals and spell work to achieve bringing somebody into your life or attracting a certain type of person, it's a good idea to have not only a structured regimen, but also to have multiple things going instead of just doing one thing and hoping for the best. So I have here different elements that I use, and I have other people use while they're doing their love magic, especially if they're working on a particular person, right? So a lot of times people have blockages, right? And that will prohibit them from achieving the results that they want, especially if it's with somebody in particular or just, easing loneliness, right? I recommend that when you're doing love magic, you're also doing attraction work on yourself to increase your chances and to increase your results and bring that energy in closer to you. And what I recommend is doing several things. One of those things is spiritual bathing. And spiritual bathing can consist of baths or soaps or perfumes, perfumed baths. I use soaps a lot when people are when they don't have a way to do spiritual baths or they just don't they don't want to have to put the energy into making a bath. I recommend soap, right? So I make these soaps to have the correct herbs and essences and oils in order to achieve the attraction that you need. And the way you use them is by washing with them in the shower from the bottom of your feet to the top to your shoulders. So you just kind of like wash, right? It doesn't have to be this particular soap. You can go to a spiritual shop and find soaps for that are for attraction and for love. But you want to start pulling in that energy and layering your aura with attraction, right? Another thing is perfume, right? So this kind of looks ugly, but it's actually smells really good. It's a perfume that has all kinds of different herbs um, that have been blessed and consecrated, and the perfumes are made in ritual, right? So it's not just I you put a bunch of things together and that's it. Everything has to have a process and a ritual to it. So this perfume in particular has the herbs called hala hala. There's rosemary in here. There's rose petals. There's this essence that I use called Egyptian, and then there are pheromones in here. There's cinnamon in here, and there is different spiritual colognes and perfumes like what's one that is in here? Pompeia, that's in here. Come to meet perfume, a bunch of different things, and it's made in ritual. Here is another thing that you can do to add to your regimen or whatever. And if you wear makeup, especially powder, you can enchant your makeup and your skincare, right? You can put things on them in order to enhance your energy when you're doing your love working. So in here I have powder, right? And it's very, very simple. It's a loose powder, and I add cinnamon powder to it because cinnamon is for attraction. It pulls that energy in. I like to use this brand called Airspun. It smells kind of like Old Lady, but it's perfumed powder, so that adds another element of attraction, right? So what I do is I have this like really pretty box, and I dedicate this to the commission of gypsy spirits mm, to work I guess like beauty magic and creating that aura. Now you can do this with Ochun or Cholawenge, or any, I guess, divinity of love and beauty. But I utilize the gypsy spirits for stuff like this. Or you can even, if you have a Pombajira spirit, you can use the Pombajira. But put it on, and as you're putting it on, you want to speak your intention. Now, with all of these elements, you always want to speak intention. So as you're using your soap, you want to start from the bottom and work your way up because you're pulling that energy in, right? So when you're working for towards love, you can actually write on the soap the person's name that you want to pull in, right? And what you do is you say your words of intention as you're washing yourself. So you can even just say like you can keep it short and sweet and say things like love, attraction, magnetism, seduction, things like that. As long as you're putting your energy into it, right? And the same thing with the perfumes. Now you can use perfumes like that or the spray ones you get at Botanicus, but you need to always say what you want to happen. You need to call that energy in. You need to see it. You need to feel it, you know? And while you're doing this, I guess, beauty regimen or spiritual bathing, you also want to have candles going. You want to have spell work going. This is a lot of work, you know. If you don't really want the person, then it's not really going to matter whether or not you get them right or whether matter whether or not you do this. But if you really want somebody, and I mean you really really want them, you will do whatever you need to do in order to achieve those results. So that means putting in the work. If you don't want to put the work in, then you really don't want them in the first place. So in that case, maybe just let things happen naturally, or maybe just do something small to bring in love. But it's also recommended that you get a reading done, right? Especially if you have no luck in love and it's just not happening for you. It's best to see why, so that way something can be prescribed for you to eliminate those obstacles. So if you're having a hard time with loneliness and you can't find anybody or it's not working out for you in any sort of way, you should get a hold of me and let's see what's going on so we can fix that problem, because nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Sometimes it's just a matter of like changing your personality, or learning to love yourself from within first. But nothing is impossible, and you can totally achieve the results and the wishes that you desire. So that was just another little tidbit on what you can add to your love magic.